AITA for refusing to change a custody agreement because I'm not being offered anything in return. My ex and I share 50-50 of our 9-year-old son. Basically we have him every other week. She also has a 5-year-old from her second marriage. They're divorced and the custody arrangement is like ours except she the 5-year-old on the week that I have our 9-year-old. Her second ex-husband refused to work around our custody agreement, so my ex asked me to change ours. This is a huge deal and the reality is that I cannot just sign off it. If I just say okay, then she'll start asking for more accommodations at my expense. I told her to think about what she's going to offer me to go along with this plan. She got mad that I just wouldn't just do it. Honestly, if she would had offered me something like an extra holiday, then I'd go along with it. She even said that she wasn't going to pay my legal fees because a judge has to sign off any custody changes in our state. Now she's pissed and I don't care. Edit. Both boys are just as happy being together than not. Why? Because they get to have their parent all to themselves and my relationship with my son is more important than with his brother. YTA. My parents were divorced and I distinctly remember my dad being in awe, and there was a period of time my brother would be with my dad and I would be with my mom, and then we would switch and I never got to see my brother. I hated my dad for it. You sound just like him. A narcissistic who only cares about himself, and your son will resent you and not have much of a relationship with you as an adult. Be the better person. Love your child more than you hate your ex. Swap weeks so that the siblings can see each other. The only reason no to use a work situation where you are deployed or working overnight during those weeks. YTA. My relationship with my son is more important than with his brother. Fun fact. If you trade weeks, you'll still have him half-time. Except on week B instead of week A. That way he can have a relationship with both of you. My relationship with my son is more important than with his brother. Read that back to yourself up. Hard YTA. Instead of trying to establish a healthy co-parenting dynamic, you're just doing this to be petty, and I bet you're doing it so your ex doesn't have a week off. This isn't a competition. Let your son spend time with his brother. There will come a day where you need your ex's support. This is very short-sighted. YTA. What your ex is offering you is a chance for your son to grow up with a half-time sibling he actually has a relationship with. How about you think of the fact that the siblings would actually get to spend time together? Why wouldn't you want your child to spend time with their sibling? YTA. So you're one of those parents. The ones who only care about sticking it to their ex-spouse unless they get something in exchange. The selfish kind who doesn't care about what is best for the child. YTA. YTA. Your son should be growing up with his sibling. He's a human being, not a bargaining chip. And my relationship with my son is more important than with his brother. Red flags are going off right now. Why can't your relationship with your son be just as important as your son's relationship with his brother? When all of the parents are dead and gone, do you genuinely feel it's a good idea for your son to not have anyone? Just truly think about someone besides yourself right now. YTA. Info. Why did you not disclose what the modifications your ex wants to make are? Is she asking to swap from her having your son on weeks 1 and 3 to her having him weeks 2 and 4? Or something else? Are you an asshole for making sure your kid never sees his sibling? Of course you are. YTA. YTA. Being a parent means doing what is best for your kid, not trying to milk your custody agreement for perks. I work in a family law office, and dealing with Oz like you are the worst part of the job by far. Instead of doing what's in the best interests of your children, like preserving a healthy co-parenting relationship that will make your children's lives materially better, you are choosing to be a major awe. Worst of all, it's the kids that usually suffer the most when you have a parent being a great asshole like you are. YTA all the way. Your "fuck you, got mine" attitude disgusts me. Welcome to Am I the Asshole? Please view our voting guide here. And remember to use only one judgment in your comment. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. My son's mom asked to change our custody agreement so she could have our son and her other son at the same time. I asked what's in it for me and she said nothing, so I said no. Help keep the sub engaging. Don't downvote assholes. Do upvote interesting posts. Click here for our rules and click here for our FAQ. I am a bot, and this action was performed automatically. Please contact the moderators of this subreddit if you have any questions or concerns. Contest mode is 1.5 hours long on this post. Info. What's the change in custody agreement she's proposing? Why is her second ex not okay with the current way things are? Is she trying to take away your time with your son, or is she trying to make you have him more? Or does she want to keep things 50-50 but just switch the weeks so the two boys are together? Without knowing the details of the agreements proposed, it's hard to make a judgment. YTA. I asked my daughter's dad to switch weeks with me so I could have all the kids for the same weekend. My partner doesn't work, so we could do things together, and he said, okay. When do you want to start? Single quote. Your son should have able to have a relationship with his sibling. And this can only happen if mom has both kids on the same week. Have you asked your son what he would prefer? He's 9, so he is old enough to choose, and in this case it seems like the decision should be his. YTA. Why do so few divorced parents understand that custody is about what's best for the child? Ren. You are stubbornly wanting to wield power over your ex and are costing your son a relationship with his sibling in the process. Grow up, and try to put your son first. Face with rolling eyes. Info. Is it a true hardship for you to change weeks? I'm sorry, but YTA. I've been living with divorced parents, and my whole childhood was filled by heated arguments between my parents about those kind of things. My mom wouldn't let me go see my dad when I was supposed to be with her because she was afraid my dad would spend more time with me. While I can understand her point of view, and yours, it only made me afraid of asking her later in life. I missed birthday celebration with step-siblings, missed parties with friends, holidays, just because my parents were too busy fighting for a few days with me rather than actually thinking about what was better for me and what I wanted. I know it must hurt, but I can promise your child will be happier having a chance spending time with his step-sibling and knowing you're not that stick with planning. I'm forever grateful with my dad letting me change weekend even if I spent less time with him, rather than spending time with my mom wanting to enjoy the company of people I wasn't seeing a lot.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.